Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome back to Red's Homestead. So something we haven't done in a very long time is a tour. A tour of the entire homestead with some before and afters of what it looked like when we got here and what it looks like now, what we did. And we are about 1 year into it, 1 year and 1 month that we've been here. So here we go. First is this front area. So this front area was complete dirt with patches of grass, and it was just clay all going all the way down. So we've added our beds, we've added wood chips, we've added this structure thing.
Didn't quite turn out how I envisioned it, but hey, you know what? That's my first time ever building one.
Yeah, and you know, we're gonna be ended up growing grapes on them once those guys down there at the bottom actually start to grow.
This is gonna look a lot different next year too, because I got plans.
She's got plans.
That is if I can, it may not be next year, it may be the year after. We'll see how fast this breaks down.
Not much, we just have all of our fruit cherries growing right here. They are still in pots and will be in pots for a long time until they're too big to outgrow.
My mullein that I cut down to harvest, and then it grew like 5 more in its place. That's probably my favorite because I know the most about it medicinally wise.
I know, right?
I drink it in my tea almost every day.
So not coming to the bottom of our property, but to the bottom of what we're going to be fencing off for now is we actually built this fence line all along here. You can see it going that direction and coming back about halfway down here. And that was a project ended because, well, it just ran out of money.
Yeah, you know, prices started to really go up.
Yeah, so we stopped. And we're hoping to eventually kind of block this off going that way. And visually, like this is entirely closed off all the way to the end of our property going that way. And we want to actually have maybe one of those cypresses.
These are blue junipers.
Blue junipers.
And they're starting to grow now.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll kind of tower up and just be more privacy style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because once in the winter, when all the leaves die, you can actually see like a bunch of houses we didn't even know were there.
We didn't even know.
And then of course you can see them.
So here in the front of the house was...
So here's my...
Oh yeah.
So I planted flowers here, didn't realize this is a black walnut, and I guess the black walnut, I don't know, maybe it's because of the black walnut. I know the black walnuts can kill...
They're toxic to the ground, so things don't grow well around it. Up in the front, this was also dirt. Dirt.
Yeah.
And a little bit of rabbit help, a little bit of seeds, a little bit of straw. We got this up and running. Hopefully this will be nice and full by next year.
Yeah, there used to be a pool there.
Yeah, there used to be a pool. Like this used to be a deck that we're walking up right now. Mm-hmm. And then down there was a pool with trees growing in it when we moved in. Well, not when we moved in, it was right before we moved in.
You aren't supposed to be growing in there. Look at these marigolds. They fried, or they got killed in the frost. And I haven't touched them since. Yeah,
and they're coming back. And this is the Grand Canyon that we are trying to slow down, and it's actually working. Mm-hmm. The grass is starting to grow, and I'm hoping to be able to fill it in and get that taken care of. Ugh, that was When it rains hard because it comes all the way from the top of our property and meets right here and creates just a river, practically. So looking down on the main open part of the property, which next spring, well this fall, we're gonna overseed, and the next spring is when we're hoping to actually have enough grass. But you could already see right now, if the sun glare wasn't so bad.
I put a bunch of wood chips down here.
There we go. So you could already see it's starting to grass up.
And we had craters over here too.
Yeah, we had huge craters down here where the wall, I mean this is very downhill, so where all the water would just converge in the middle and it would create this huge, another chasm of just rushing water. So what we added here at the bottom of one of the little hills, we added a swale, a very small one, but just enough basically a potato patch, and that stopped any erosion that we
Didn't grow
had.
potatoes, but
Yeah, didn't grow potatoes, but it could have had way too much water.
yeah. I
for,
mean, it started. I
potatoes.
don't know. It was weird.
Started well, but did not end well.
But yeah. See, there's like no more. I covered it in topsoil and.
Yep, finally stopped washing away.
Yes.
And all this was possible because we cut these 2 trees down, which were towers. They were massive. I mean, you could see it. This is just 3 lengths of it. That's 30 feet long right here. And that was just one of the trees. And so this had to have been probably a 70, 80 foot tree.
Yeah.
And we hacked it down, and no sun was getting over here. Now that we have sun, we might be able to actually grow some grass.
Because this would be a nice little pasture area for.
Yep, once we get a larger animal, this is
One
where
day.
we're gonna be able to keep it and rotate it. And I don't even know if I've really done this since a tour. We did this a long time ago. We actually did this the last time my parents came to visit, which was October.
This was our first
This was our first big project.
and first fence we ever built.
First fence,
Well, we
yeah.
never did.
This was also the first fence we ever did. And this was just to have a place for our dogs to be able to run outside when we wanted them to. And over here, it's actually an overgrown mess that we're gonna have to tackle.
Yeah. I'm not doing it while snakes are
one day.
around.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fall or a colder project. But you can see where we had 6 piles of wood chips first delivered almost when we first moved in, practically a month after. And we eventually hauled it all away, various places in the property, from the chicken run to some beds to just anywhere to stop the soil from eroding all across this property.
There's a hawk circling my bunny, I think.
2 of them.
Yep, I'm gonna go over there. Actually, let me get this cover since we're over here. They're flying away. We'll just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then on this side is probably where most changes happened, because this is where we focused. This is the zone coming outside of the house. This was all dirt.
It's a little messy now, but
Yeah,
it's the end of the garden.
see, whoop, close to the end of the garden season, but you can see it's not dirt anymore. It's a chicken run, all sorts of structures, and eventually we're gonna either have another bed along this right here, maybe bring the fence out further for the chickens, or have a just grass.
See, I'm thinking bringing the fence out, but not where it's coming down, like maybe a little ways, and then kind of, I don't know,
Like have a bigger run for them?
a little bit. Eventually, we'd like to free range them, but I'm a little anxious about that until I get a fence up.
Now, we got our blackberries growing. Actually growing very well. This was their first year, so we didn't get a ton of berries. And I really would rather have some cattle panel strode along on the T-post, so it's something stronger for them to grow on. Because right now they're struggling a little bit. Or the blackberries aren't struggling, the wire that I attached is struggling the worst. So here we are, the racking house. This was the biggest build that we did. Fully enclosed both sides. And we have a removable board, and this post in the middle is removable. So these 2 doors, thank you. These 2 doors will swing open, and the same thing on the other side, and we could drive straight through this thing if we wanted to clear it out. And then we have our rabbits will all be on one side right here. The chickens will have...
They've really found their voice in the last 2 days.
They've last 2 days they've found their voice. They have their nesting boxes in there, and then we have just their maiden roosts right here, and then they like to roost right here for now. But eventually we're going to build a cage, and they're going to have to roost somewhere else.
I gotta take the wire off of that thing.
Yeah.
Couldn't find the wire cutters.
Man. But here's just a view of the other side, where we have this side of the chicken run, and then the main garden, 3 beds, 3 different methods with a greenhouse on the end. And then lastly, on this side, we have not a whole lot done except for a lot of clearing that we did. We've cleared a lot of this right here. We cleared a lot of the woods going that direction because that's the way we plan on moving. We have a lot of property heading down there. But we focused a lot on the grass on this side. Again, this was clay, lots of clay. And we ran all the animals, the chickens, from up there. And then they spent most of their lives down here, and it really greened up. They spread some grass seed for us. They fertilized the ground for us, and it's a lot healthier than it was. So there you have it. That's what we've gotten to this first year. Most of the changes, we've added about 80-something animals, ran through 1 set of meat birds. We're working on the 2nd set right now, growing in the garage, and we're going to be doing it for a lot longer.